I have a lot of opinions on which supplements to take if you have PCOS. Some of my recommendations may actually surprise you. My name is Julie. I am a registered dietitian and PCOS expert. I am a registered dietitian, but I'm not your personal dietitian. I'm just a dietitian on the internet. I mentioned some supplements that sound interesting to you. Make sure you talk to your in-person healthcare provider to make sure it is a safe option for you. Believe it or not, I used to strongly discourage people with PCOS from choosing supplements, especially if they were newly moving away from diets or early stages of eating disorder recovery, because I just thought food was the most important thing. I think I was also being a little elitist and ableist with this, because supplements are a really important asset if you are trying to move away from dieting and trying to also manage your PCOS symptoms and you don't want to feel like shit anymore. With all that being said, there's something really important to keep in mind though when you have PCOS and you're starting to use supplements. It doesn't matter how many supplements you add. If you're not eating enough, you won't actually feel an improvement as expected with these supplements if you're not eating enough. So rule number one is always work towards eating enough. And how much is enough? It's probably going to surprise you because most of us have been told that we actually don't need to eat that much because of misogyny. My first recommendation is inositol. Now, you probably have heard of inositol or heard people with PCOS using inositol. And also that sometimes doctors are like, I don't have enough research on it. That is BS. All you have to do is Google Scholar inositol and you will come up with hundreds of inositol research and PCOS. I find that most people with PCOS are taking an inositol supplement, but they're not taking the right amount and they actually don't know why they're taking it. The current recommendation is 2,050 milligrams of a 40-to-1 ratio of myo-inositol to D-chiro-inositol twice a day. That's a mouthful, I know. And I have a link here for a place where you can get all the details on those big words. Finding a inositol supplement that labels the two different types of inositols on the label ingredient list and also has the right amount. And when you look at the serving size, a lot of supplements say the serving size is half of what is recommended. And so make sure you're taking the right amount. Can't move past inositol without telling you actually why I recommend it. Inositols are secondary messengers in our body, and one of the roles that they have is fixing insulin receptors. What researchers are pointing to is that people with PCOS probably have a defect or deficiency of these inositols. One of insulin's roles is to actually help energy from food to be brought into the cell, like open the door, like it's a doorman to let the energy in. Well, when the receptors are broken, the body just sends more insulin. And so the body then just isn't able to fix the door jam. And that's by supplementing inositols, you're actually helping the door jam to be working again and helping insulin to do its job. The other supplement that I strongly encourage most people with PCOS to experiment with is an omega-3 supplement. Why? Well, researchers have found that most people with PCOS have low-grade chronic inflammation. And inflammation, unfortunately, is a big diet culture buzzword with people starting to say things like anti-inflammatory diets, and this food is anti-inflammatory, bullshit like that. I actually don't agree with that. All foods are inflammatory, just like oxygen is inflammatory. When our body takes in things to be able to do its job, there's going to be leftover products. Everything is inflammatory, and inflammation is a beautiful, wonderful thing. It's how we are able to repair our body every day and heal from things like a paper cut. When people have high amounts of inflammation, researchers have pointed that to predict disease like diabetes and cancers. So lowering inflammation is something that can really help. Newsflash though. Food is not the biggest impact on inflammation. You know what the biggest impact is? Racism, poverty. Basically, the less power you have in the world, the more inflammation you probably have. So we know that as individuals, you can't cut out racism. I wish you could so much. But us all coming together, especially white folks, we can help to end systemic oppressions, to make a big wedge in them so they're less harmful to people who are historically marginalized. So supplementing with certain types of omega-3s helps people with PCOS to help lower inflammation levels. The third supplement I recommend to most people with PCOS, especially those of you on metformin, is B12. It's that metformin now has a black box warning on it that over a third of folks who take metformin at higher doses long term, which is most people with PCOS, will have lower B12 levels. And when you have lower B12 levels, it can cause irreversible damage to nerves, like things like neuropathy. And so you want to make sure that you supplement with B12. I also highly recommend that people who are taking metformin to get their B12 level tested every year. That is something that's very important. And then supplement as you are starting to take metformin every single year. So besides these big three, inositol, omega-3, and B12, there are other supplements that I recommend on an individual basis, ones like berberine and NAC, prebiotics, and magnesium. Those are 4 other ones that many people in PCOS Power end up taking too, based on what they're hoping to improve. Maybe cycle length, to improve heart health, to improve constipation, or to help their GI health. So I hope that helps. If you are looking for more, we are going to be enrolling PCOS Power very soon. So stay connected, give me a follow. I am here to do all the teaching on PCOS without dieting. Bye for now.